How's it going? Today is 14th of February, Wednesday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities are available up there. Recently, I have received some information that have recommend for me to take a look at Sports England. Then looking or seeking for funding is something that I have highlighted previously. There's different strategies of the government, right? Then we're taking a look at the sports and all people getting active within the strategy, something that was highlighted as for fourth, so to say. I would say perhaps even higher risk, but perhaps more people not that active, right? And it was a set target. Then we're taking a look at the adults. I think it was 2.5 million more people to become active. How would you classify people being active? Walking up the stairs, climbing up hills, right? I don't know the sport, but either way, let's stick with what was the start, right? Fourth of entire public can get more active, right? And if myself or others are looking for finance, that's most likely the place to go. Not necessarily needs to be limited to, but let's take a look at Sports England and what kind of financial opportunities are available. Let's begin by introduction, quick one, right? About us, established by the Royal Charter in 1996, we are determined to give everyone in England a chance to benefit from sports and physical activity. That would make sense that there's a government body established company who would all most likely oversee all the finances, and that would be most likely within the scope of England, right? Okay. Let's take a look at how we can potentially solve some of the problems for this organization. Most likely, I haven't taken a look at all the grants or all financial opportunities available. Most likely, what this organization is going to be looking for support or offering support to. There's going to be three issues, so to say, right? First one, structure of the organization. That will be most likely they're gonna be looking for a non-profit, which is great. So this is what they're gonna be looking for. That's the first one. We progress into the next one. Myself or others, we're gonna be taking a look at risk and how to reduce the risk, right? Since we don't really know each other, all those kind of things, right? So we're gonna be taking a look and or looking to secure finance. That will be 100%, right? Not necessarily this organization is gonna looking to offer 100%, right? So that's number two. Number three, then we're taking a look at finances and how tax money is being allocated. Based on my limited research, most of the finances as of now have been allocated to buildings and or facilities, right? So that's number three. So more than ever, based on experience, not necessarily that's what's gonna happen in the future. Most of the capital, a big percentage, is going to be allocated to buildings. So not necessarily that would be within the interest of this organization or similar ones to allocate to any operations, administration, and initiatives, all those kind of things, right? Other than perhaps improving of buildings, and I don't know, that's cost benefit analysis, something that they can pull that money out, and or there is two buildings and someone is willing to pay more for one building, so to say. So it's a asset, so to say. So perhaps that's how they're allocating money, but I don't know. Perhaps that works. It's been working for the last 10, 20, or whatever charter was set up 1996. If it's from that point they begin allocating a lot of capital to buildings, why would they change anything? So I'm just wasting my time submitting anything to this organization, right? I'm just wasting my time, and who cares, right? But either way, let's try it. Let's try it and see. Let's how we're gonna improve situation where fourth of population is as of now not that active. Who cares about the population and everything? How we can solve this problem, right? So three issues. Myself coming into this, perhaps they would prove me wrong. We are here to invest in sports and physical activity. Okay. I would like to challenge this statement, but let's progress. To make it normal part of the life to everyone in England. regardless of your of who you are. Okay, okay. So we're looking to invest in that, all right? Regardless. Okay, what about corporate structure? Profit, non-profit, so that would matter, right? So we're gonna classify based on those kind of things. No, not perhaps. What they're referring, perhaps gender or something. I don't know. I'm just joking around there because it's not always the whole playing field right now. We are opportunities to get involved in sports and activity that reap the reward of being active, depending on much on your background, your gender, your bank balance, and your police skill. Okay, okay, okay. They would say that they won't be asking me this kind of information. I thought they were referring to that, but I think they would switching and choosing what they would like to highlight within this presentation. What really matters is my tax money. Taxes have been paid. So how are we going to be allocating these taxes? They're saying, and it doesn't matter if you are there. I would say I would rephrase it. If I'm showing up, I'm looking there to submit a project for presentation of perhaps five people who are sitting there and getting paid for my tax money. How are we gonna judge this presentation if I'm gonna be investing in buildings or if I'm gonna be investing in activity? If it's activity, they're not necessarily interested. They determine to tackle and unlock the advantages of sport and physical activity for everyone. This isn't just about a long-standing purpose of helping more people to enjoy playing sports and being physically active. We believe by removing existing barriers to sport and activity, we can be a part of bigger picture and work that helps to address many of society's biggest challenges. So there's we have 10-year strategy or something that perhaps we can take a look at as well. Together we can change lives for a better every home and every community. 10 year is kind of great. I would reduce that and I would change people more often. So it's something that I've been doing in I don't know local communities, right? Every 4 years, and they would change people. Would be a lot better when it comes to organizing a lot of things, right? Quickly, let's take a look at strategy, right? Strategy, whoever put together a strategy, the person knew what he was doing, right? So that's the first point. How well and what these people going to be tracking when it comes to milestones and how they're going to be working towards achieving this strategy. That's a different story, I would say. But either way, we will focus on time and resources on three key objectives, right? It's like five or so number of pies, right? Advocating for movement, okay, sports and physical activity. So advocating, right? Okay, that's a good way of putting things into perspective. Advocating. You cannot force people to move more, right? You can invest in facilities and making sure that the facilities are there for people to do it if they were interested in doing it. It's always there, right? Joining forces on five big issues. Okay. Five issues. Okay, creating the catalyst for change. Okay, that's the third one. I'm interested in this. How are we gonna be creating those? So perhaps that would be people or contact information would be great. How I can engage with the team when it comes to creating those opportunities for people and engaging with the people, right? There's so much information. I'm skipping a little bit of that. That might be important, right? So for people who are interested in understanding the full strategy and everything what was outlined within the strategy, I would highly recommend reading that strategy for yourself, right? So it's not very concise, right? It's just myself poking a little bit of fun, but either way, the all information can be very dry, but the information is very important, right? In practice, this means that we'll continue build, establish, and grow partnerships and common purpose across both government and our sectors to join up policies, strategies, and approaches, right? Okay. So not necessarily with businesses or communities, right? Which might be important. We need to develop and deliver behavior changes campaigns built on the sex of the girls can. Okay. I didn't realize that they cannot. Everyone can. Why are we profiling? Everyone should be it. Okay, what about based on age? What about the kids can? Okay, based on gender, girls can. Okay, everyone should be able to do it. So we already building or separating people, right? We are on under feasible and no joint movement to put women's sports and physical activity in the forefront of national conversation. Okay. I don't know. Perhaps if there's a big issue with women not getting involved in sports, even this kind of initiative when it comes to profiling people, right, it might be important. Keep building evidence that shows the links between the issues and we can about the nation and values of women's sports and physical activity as a part of solution. So again, okay. So that very soft language when it comes to actually highlighting what they're gonna be doing. Other than perhaps they're gonna look at what kind of evidence, what is building evidence links between issues, and so we're gonna review a lot of paperwork. Okay, what kind of paperwork? Who's gonna be gathering those information? There's gonna be sit downs, feedback. They're gonna listen to community leaders and who gonna offer some ideas. Or we're gonna pull up some statistics, right? And we're gonna pay for 9 months, five people are gonna gather a lot of evidence and publish a work that will be 90 pages or so, that no one would read. This is evidence that they're referring to, and for those 9 months, five people, professionals, they're gonna those professionals are under 1,000 of taxpayers' money are gonna go, which is great evidence. What those evidence and what those plans would mean, where that money might be better allocated in different initiatives. I don't know. Either way, it's a lot of fun. Let's progress, grow, extend of which we can communicate both to people and organizations the power of getting active to help straighten public consensus around the importance of being physical active. Okay, even communication. So this is I was thinking or challenge this organization on a couple of points. If we're looking to improve this communication, that's an issue. We can take a look at communication. Perhaps I can suggest initiative where we're gonna be taking a look at communication if that's an issue. I don't think it is, but if they think that's an issue, I was thinking about how we're gonna be looking to engage with communities, how we're gonna launch a number of initiatives where they later can be held accountable based on how many initiatives they have launched. They can touch on how much finance was allocated, how they allocate those finances, how successful some of those programs have been. That's what I would mean something to hold value to based on my tax money and very smart people who putting this kind of thing together in the first place. These people know what I'm referring to. There's what based on what they have shared. There's nothing that perhaps okay. So let's even if we're gonna take a look at perhaps some of the behavioral changes, right? Perhaps removing something that some initiatives, right? And we take a look at obesity within the UK and some of the initiatives removing chocolate next to cashiers, right? Even this kind of initiative would reduce perhaps many people uh, who tend to lean towards dense food, right? Even that would help. But then we can measure that. But what they have highlighted, there's nothing to measure. There's nothing to measure. How you can measure anything? There's no numbers. There is no statistics, and there's nothing how successful some of the initiatives was in the past, and what they're doing with the next 10 years. Myself, I know perhaps 10, perhaps even more personal trainers, right, who are always struggling, in particular during challenging times. Recently, been based on governments, and that was advised by health professionals. So health professionals advised governments. Governments decided to close a lot of gyms. So that would be impact that had on many personal trainers, which is great, right? So now let's take a look at some of the initiatives that was launched perhaps by this organization, right? So we're looking who to blame, I guess. That's what they're doing here, right? So we have lunch initiatives, right? Let's take a look at one, and we're gonna close on that, right? So that would be perhaps how people can work out from home, so to say. So that would be some of those platforms where you can potentially upload your video of you working out, and people would watch it, so to say, and they would work out in their own home. Okay, which is great initiative, right? And it's something that some perhaps people is doing right now. Great things, right? Great things. So let's take a look at how this problem is being tried. People have been trying to address this problem within this organization. Yeah, so if you're interested in learning more, I have published a book where I'm taking a look at fitness and body, and I thought I'll put everything in the book. Hopefully, that will be myself sharing as much information as I can about fitness and everything related to fitness. What else would you start if not improving your understanding, and from there progressing into or perhaps have to help you to or give you a different perspective when it comes to fitness and understanding about your body, working out, recovery, nutrition, all the important parts, right? And within this book, I have shared my own journey and potentially how I could reduce a lot of time for others when it comes to optimizing our time, as well as it's over a decade that myself have been in the industry, and I'm looking to share that information with others. You can find it, QR code in the corner, company's website below. Finding a new innovative solution. So that's an issue. The open call would mean that you can potentially take part in expressing your interest in open call, and perhaps that would be TV broadcasting, so to say, the TV, or it would be perhaps streaming services, I would say, but it would be potentially broadcast on screens, right? And which is great. Perhaps there would be hundreds or if not thousands personal trainers who might be interested in this open call, right, to solve this problem, which is great, right? But how to express your interest, and what's the funding available? What's the structure of organization? How much of finance might be available? Or we're just putting a front that we're doing something. Okay. To be broadcasting the Fortnite on YouTube and Instagram, and it's designed with and or by young people from Black and Asian or minorities backgrounds in Bristol, which is kind of great. Okay. So how any business or personal trainers from Bristol can receive finances and taking part in this initiative? That's what I'm interested in. If there isn't that information available, I'll try to reach out to the team. Perhaps the team might be able to advise. Hopefully, I could have this express on call. There's a button, right? I could press the button, express my interest, and then we might be able to open call. So open call is not closed call, isn't it? So if there is open call, myself or others should be able to take part in some of those initiatives. Thanks for watching. See you next one.